Mr. Shulman, you've testified yesterday and today, and you said last spring you had a partial set of facts. You didn't have the full story, didn't fully understand what took place until you read the Inspector General's report. Is that accurate?
That sounds accurate.
All right. In the 2 years that this targeting was taking place, did any member of Congress contact you, excuse me, write you about this particular subject? Did you get letters from Congress?
Yes.
All right. You know how many?
I do not.
We got some information from you all yesterday, a list of correspondence regarding 501c4s, and we counted them up. 132 different members of Congress contacted you over the appropriate time period. Did you read any of those letters?
The letters that I remember about this set of facts around...
No, did you read any of them?
General started coming in February of 2012.
Well, this is from the IRS. We got 132 members of Congress contacted you about 501c4 status. You ever read newspaper articles about this issue and the time period that in question, Mr. Shulman?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
You know how many news stories, hazard a guess, took place in the time period that we're focused on?
I wouldn't guess.
You have your staff, and we in our office we have like a Google alert, and if my name comes up, they find out what the press is saying about me, and they let me know. Do you have that when you were at the IRS? You have like a Google alert when stories about the IRS or Doug Shulman come up? Did they let you know about those stories?
IRS has press clippings that I saw on a regular basis when I was...
Would you hazard a guess about how many major news stories took place in this time period that is in question when the targeting was going on before you said you know?
No, I wouldn't.
42. We just did a quick search. 42 major news stories. So here's what everyone wants to know. You got 132 members of the United States Congress contacting you about this issue. 42 major stories about this issue in the time period in question, and you never checked it out. You never researched it. I mean, are you sure you're being square with us today, Mr. Shulman?
I'm absolutely telling you the truth today.
Absolutely. Well, that's interesting because Mr. Lynch just cited your testimony from a year ago, and you used similar language. When in front of the Ways and Means Committee, can you give us assurances that the IRS is not targeting particular groups? Thanks for bringing this up, because I think there's been a lot of press about this. There was, we found out. And a lot of moving information, so I appreciate the opportunity to clarify. First, let me start by saying, yes, I can give you assurances. I don't think you can say it any stronger. We pride ourselves on being a non-political, nonpartisan organization. And that's why people are wondering if you're being square with us today, because you said you could assure everyone, the American people in the Congress then, that nothing was going on. And the gentleman sitting beside you just issued a report last week that says what you told the Congress, what you told the American people a year ago, is absolutely wrong. And you're sure you're being square with us?
Excuse me?
You ever talk to anyone at the White House about this issue?
About this issue? Not that I remember.
You ever go to the White House? Time as commissioner, did you ever go to the White House for meetings?
Yeah, I had a number of occasions to go to the White House.
How many times did you go to the White House?
Many times around budget and policy matters of tax and other things like that.
Got a number? Any idea?
I don't have a number.
We just looked at the White House log. Now, we couldn't get 2012, but in 2010 and 2011, 118 times you were at the White House. I mean, that's a lot. I bet these Democrat members of Congress and this administration haven't been there close to that many times. 118 times you were at the White House. 132 members of Congress contact you about this information. 42 major news stories about this very subject. And you told Congress a year ago, I can give you assurances. Nothing is going on. Everything's wonderful. We're not targeting conservative groups. I mean, that's why the American people they're like, this is unbelievable. You sure you didn't talk to anyone at the White House about this issue, Mr. Shulman?
About singling out conservative groups for special scrutiny?
Well, that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
I'm absolutely sure I did not talk to anyone.
118 visits. It didn't come up in a casual conversation after 132 members of Congress contacted you about it. You sure you didn't bring it up with anybody at the White House?
Not to my memory, and it wouldn't be appropriate, and so I certainly believe I did not have any conversations.
Recognize the Mr. Lynch, I think, is, or excuse me, Mr. Conley is next up for questioning.